everyone. Here's another update out of Clinton, BC. It's about 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Smoke's rolling back in here. It cleared up for a short while today, but it's rolled back in. Winds have picked up a little bit, blowing towards the west, towards town. Good news is the fire break is holding up on the hills there. Very low fire activity today. Not hearing very many helicopters in the air. Firefighters have been coming around to check on the bladders and the equipment just on a regular basis, like they've been doing all week this week. So just a recap, it's been a week now since everybody's been evacuated. Basically, we stayed here with 5 of the 7 households that are on our street. We stayed here because we're young and we're able-bodied, and there's a number of older people on our street, and we figured we're being young and able-bodied and having backup equipment. We're probably going to be some of the most capable people around to help in case of emergency. So we have the backup equipment, but we also prefer that proactive approach. I mean, we don't want our house to catch fire. We don't want our neighborhood to catch fire. We want to make sure our neighbors' houses are preserved. So, just a number of reasons why we've chosen to stay behind. I know people are concerned about us, and we've had people urging us to leave, but we're still safe here. We've had a number of challenges this week, and coming up to 1 week now, we're running low on food and medicine. People in the neighborhood are running low on cigarettes and pain medication. So we can leave and go get these things. That's not a problem. The problem comes when we want to come back. And the TNRD has a procedure for applying for a permit. And the permit is to be on the roads, because during a state of emergency like this, the police want to make sure that only emergency responders and people with proper permits are using the roadways. In fact, if you're caught on the road and you don't have a permit and you're not evacuating, you can be arrested if you're interfering with you're interfering with the first responders in how they do their duties. There's also fines that can be handed out. So some people just don't know that we're stuck at home. Well, we can't leave here. If we leave, we just can't get back through the police checkpoint. So we've investigated getting the permit, and unfortunately they just don't have any provisions for providing permits for people in need of food and groceries. If you're out of fuel, you need fuel for your generator, you need fuel for your pumps, or if you need feed for your animals and livestock, then they provide for that. You can get a permit and go to the nearest location that will supply you these things. But here in Clinton, I've heard that people have been calling the Shell station, and it's just there's not any response there, so I don't know if it's open anymore or not, but stores are pretty much closed here anyway, and even if you wanted to walk down to the Shell station around the roadblocks, police are really cracking down on people that don't have a permit, because and people have valid concern about looters when they leave their homes under evacuation. The police want to make sure that there's no looters around. So obviously, if you're on foot in the neighborhood, it's going to appear to be suspicious activity. You can be arrested. So, and this is all for good reason. It's all for good reason. You know, we us people that stay behind, some people say there should be provisions for us to be able to go and get our groceries, but perhaps not. These policies and procedures are in place for good reason. That we don't always know why, but they are in place for good reason. Smart people put these things in place. So what's happened to us this week? Well, it's been a real roller coaster. A roller coaster of anxiety and exhaustion, sleepless nights, since the order, and especially when the fire started coming over the hills towards us. Well, that was a long day, and not much sleep. It's really hectic watching the progress of the fire, and it seems like it's not threatening, but all it would take is a shift in the winds, and it'll send that coming right towards us. We'd be dealing with flying embers and such. And the smoke's been hard enough to deal with as it is. We've been wearing respirators for a couple of days, so it's not for your average person to just stay behind. People that aren't prepared, more and more of them are finding themselves having to evacuate. So do I think evacuation is a good idea? Certainly, that's definitely a good idea. So anyways, just a few of my thoughts this week, and I understand people have been away for a long time now. I imagine you're getting homesick and want to get back to their businesses in town. I understand we've got many businesses that rely on tourists and the summer months in order to sustain themselves through the winter, and I wish them the very best for when they come back. I hope this doesn't persist for too long and affect people's livelihoods in any lasting negative way. But anyway, that's my weekly update. Hopefully it won't go on for too much longer. If I had an estimate as to how long this is going to go on for, geez, I don't know. Another week? We just have to wait and see. Anyway, everyone, have a great evening. I'll be back again if there are any major changes. Have a good night.